kingdoms collapse. Now anarchy reigns. You want it, you got it. Now anarchy reigns.
What's going on, everyone? I am Joe Exotic, and this is the You Want It, You Got It podcast. Today, my guest is the Bay Area assassin, the new metal messiah, my brother from another mother, Diego. What's going on, brother?
What up, bro? How you been? Long time no see. Like, how long have we been trying to get this together, whether it be on your end or my end? Like, we've been trying to get this together for many, many years, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and guess what? We finally got it, and that's all that matters, man.
Here we are. Here we are.
It's a new year. It's a new us, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's got a fresh haircut. That's about it. That's it.
Yeah.
New year, new haircut. That's it.
Yeah, I got a fresh shave. That's about it. So
Looks good. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, I brought the beard back for wintertime just because it gets too damn cold around here. I can't take the southern winters, man. So when we moved out here, it was advertised the dirty South, hot all the time. Snow was not on the bingo card. It has snowed every year that we've lived out here, and I'm sick of it. And I'm declaring right now that I'll be moving to Hawaii for the winter times now.
Oh, well, how long have you been here?
On and off since '99. Really solid since 2006.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I moved here in '93, so I guess you can say I'm a Southern boy now.
Yeah, we're locals.
Yeah.
Yep.
But still got the Bay in the blood, right?
That's it. You never stop repping. Yeah, I got like tattooed everywhere, and always rocking the Giants or Niners, and yeah, you know how we do it, man. You know, it never goes away.
So Diego, you're originally from San Jose, correct?
I am. Yep.
Okay. And so in San Jose, for me, I remember as a child, because I'm from the area as well, obviously. I remember going to like Raging Waters and shit, and in the 80s and stuff, they had like the half pipe there for BMX, and they had the skaters and stuff that used to always do their stuff there. I never got to check that out, but that was a big deal in the 80s. But as a kid, I remember frequenting the San Jose flea market.
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
Let's go. Like, as you can see, my expression just lit up.
Yeah.
That was my childhood, bro. Like the flea market. Like, oh my god. Like
that was like our version of the LA swap meet.
Seriously, like for people that don't understand, it was like a mall, but better outside. Like, I don't know if you remember, they brought the Great Mall of America there in San Jose, like mid '90s or whatever. But it never beat the San Jose flea market. Like, dude, you can find everything there, and I did find everything there.
Man, I would go there, and my parents wouldn't buy me like GT bikes or like for those. I would go to the San Jose flea market and buy a bootleg BMX bike, and it was just as good,
Yep.
Yeah, I know. I would like to check that out one time when I go back out. Is that still a thing? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't know. You would have to think it is, right? That's a landmark. Like, you can't get rid of the San Jose flea market. Like, the best food, and my thing was the bootleg football jerseys. I found some of my best football jerseys right there at the flea market. It'd be like, why go to the mall and spend $100 and go to the flea market and spend 15? Let's go get 3 of them.
I ain't mad about wearing bootleg,
Nobody ever knew the difference. Ever. Yeah.
We just said bootleg. My buddy got me a bootleg Warriors championship ring that opens up.
Is that the yes?
And it has Steph's number and shit on it. But he got these off of one of those websites from China, and then he sent it to me. So
it's a thing, man. I dig it. And that's like my favorite one too, where it spins and reveals and all that. Yeah, it's probably gonna be the last one we see for another 40 years.
Man, they've had a rough season.
They've had it rough, man. It's a great start, but then it just seems like, oh my god, everybody tanked at the same time. The Niners fell off, the Warriors stopped winning, Sharks still suck.
Yeah, the Sharks, man, when I was in my probably 17, 18, when the Sharks came to San Jose, I used to work at a radio station in Monterey, and they had a AM station, and they would do all the San Jose Sharks games, and they would do the Warriors games as well. But they needed somebody to press the buttons to play the commercials during the breaks. So that was what I did. So one day I told my friends, I was like, all right, you guys, tune in at 8 o'clock. Sometime around there, there's going to be a commercial break. I'm going to play 3 minutes of punk rock music. And they're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Needless to say, I did do that. And we got so many complaints, but nobody knew who did it. So,
It's it.
yeah.
It's storming at 2 a.m. Who the hell's I've been there. I've been there. I've done that. Yeah. You should never tell somebody that breaks the rules what rules you can bend and break. Yeah, because they will be broken. Promise that.
I know myself, I've always wanted to do like radio and stuff like that, and that's how I got that gig. For yourself, what got you turned on to wanting to do radio?
Man, I don't know. It was a lot of different things. Like the big secret to me was I was a nerd in school. I had good grades, right? Got accepted to Stanford for law. It wasn't a full ride. It was enough to buy a book and a churro. But I mean, it's still like that was going to be my first passion. I went back home to pursue it. Kind of just fizzled out, man. Like, and then came back, and radio kind of fell in my lap, so to speak. There's always something my grandma always like pounded that in my brain, was like sports announcing. I was like, man, I want to play sports. Like, we all want to be Joe Montana if you're from the Bay.
Oh yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like I always wanted to play sports, never announce it. And then it was just one of those, it was like dumb luck things. I was in Nashville a lot, just trying to, kind of get used to the area, so to speak, at that time. And ended up finding this, like, I think it's like 18-week like night course broadcasting school. And I was like, whatever, let's try it. And ended up getting linked up with the local FM station in Nashville. Did an internship there, ended up just being pretty okay at it. And then, fell into FM for all those years, man. Fell in love with it. And then I took a 8-year break, I think is what it ended up being. And then I got the itch for it again. And that started this. That started the Asylum.
Yeah,
so
man.
Radio, like I said, it's a mixed bag of answers, but just really, it turned into something. Let's just see if we could do it. To like really, now it's just passion, nerd passion is what I call it, nerd passion.
Well, I mean, we all sometimes we either love our voice or we hate our voice, and did you feel you had the voice for radio?
To this day, I don't like listening back to like anything I have out there. I still try. I don't listen. Like I don't listen to any of the shows. I don't listen to any of the commercials I put out, any of these advertisements. Like I just don't. I still, to this day, I'm like, just don't. I have the face for radio, but I just, to this day, I don't like listening to myself back. No, it's weird. It's always been weird to me. It's probably always going to be weird to me.
Well, I mean, I personally think you have an amazing voice. It's that radio voice, One thing about the radio, though, if you don't see the face, you always wonder what these people look like,
Yeah.
And as when I went to go to the radio station in Monterey one time, because I won a CD, that come pick it up and you can win it, right?
Yep.
So you hear these people's voices on the radio all the time, and obviously before the internet. This was way before the internet was around. So I go and meet these people, and they walk out like, "Hey, so," and I was like, the faces don't match the voice to me,
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it was crazy, but now, with the internet, everybody sees everybody. So the Asylum radio network. Okay. Now this is your baby.
This is, yeah. The Asylum was something that started on the FM side. It like just playing around, in broadcasting school. You had to, come up with a show and come up with the intro and an outro and and you got 5 minutes to do it. And I was like, all right. So the Asylum was going to be like a nighttime show, because nobody's going to step into radio, and you're not going to be the morning show right off the rip. So I was like, yeah, the Asylum, nighttime show, call-in show, whatever. And that's what it was too. Cause after like simultaneously internshipping at the Nashville station, rock station, and then I was also at the college down in Gallatin too. So I actually, that's where the Asylum was technically born, because I really used it there as it was a Friday night and Saturday night call-in show. Just for 4 hours. That's just what I named it. Whatever, it kind of stuck, and then it went from there to where I come down here to Cookeville, which is where I'm currently at now, and I did like the afternoon drive for a few years. and brought the Asylum with me. It was just like another. It took a smaller section of the show, because you don't make your own rules in FM. Like, they tell you what you're gonna do, and that's all you're gonna do. So I would sneak it in, but for the most part, it kind of died. And then I kind of dusted it off as the idea when decided to go ahead and roll this bad boy out. So yeah, the Asylum's always been around.
And how long has the Asylum been around for? Like live, like doing it here?
The Asylum Radio Network. We started it I think we launched in February of 2020 or February 2021. So we're either coming up on 3 or 4 years, I think. I want to say it was 21. I want to say we launched in February 21. Yeah.
Okay. So let's take it back some time now. Growing up, and whatnot, your music and your taste in the music. What were you listening to? Let's say like in elementary school. What kind of music were you into?
A lot of Alice in Chains, a lot of Korn, early Deftones. Like I know these guys from down the street, Deftones, they were always, so basically it was a lot of West Coast influence music. And then of course the stuff you hear on the radio too. I'm a big, I'm a guilty pleasure guy for like some Whitesnake, I love Whitesnake, Dawkins, Def Leppard, stuff like that. But I was heavy into what we didn't know at that time was going to end up being the new metal scene. It didn't have that moniker yet. It didn't have that name. So that was, I was embedded in that, pretty hardcore. And Green Day played believe this or not, I was a troublemaker in school, so I had to go to summer school a couple years in a row, and I can't remember what grade it was that I went to the summer school. And to close it out, there was a concert there at Piedmont Middle School and right there in San Jose. And the band that was playing in the pavilion was Green Day. They're from Berkeley, a Berkeley band. They were testing out this new album. Ended up being Dookie, which of course everybody knows the story about Dookie being lost in the Bay. Like the original, right? So that's everything that I listened to when I was younger. It was all that California influence music, and you sprinkle in, Metallica. How can you not mention Metallica being from the Bay Area? Like they're the godfathers of the scene. So.
It's crazy about the Bay. I was talking to my homeboy the other day, and I was just mentioning like San Francisco itself, man. The history of music that has come out of there. How much stuff came out of there from the 60s, and then the bands in the 80s. You had Journey ruling the airwaves in the 80s, saying Starship, and then of course towards the end of the 80s, you had hip hop coming up, and it's just like the stuff that comes out the thrash metal scene in the 80s. I mean, it's insane. It's punk rock in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, Tsunami. They were just here in Nashville not too long ago. Like,
and they're from San Jose, right?
They're from San Jose. Yeah, they're San Jose legends. Yep.
So, I saw, you said Alice in Chains, and I saw Alice in Chains April 13th, 1993 in San Jose. It was for the Dirt album, obviously, and it was fucking insane. It was what's the place now called where the Sharks play? I know it changes his name.
I think what's the pavilion? It's like a HP Pavilion at San Jose or something like that. Okay. Yeah.
But that's the same place that they've always been playing, correct?
Yeah, it's the tank. That's the Shark Tank. Yep.
Yeah. So that's the same place I got to see Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
And so that was pretty cool, and it's cool to say that I got to see them because not a lot of people got to see Alice in Chains after that. Towards those years,
that's bucket list shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, almost, man. I saw Metallica in Modesto.
Yeah.
And then of course I saw them at the Cow Palace. Man, the Cow Palace. How can you not love the Cow Palace, man?
Bro, like let's go. It's it's funny all that all of that we had growing up that was all right there. I never seen except for like Korn, Deftones, that scene. I think it's why I'm such a huge fan at now, because I do really feel like we all like grew up together, so to speak. So it was like taken for granted what was literally there in our backyard, even with Metallica and Green Day and even Alice in Chains. I never felt the urgency to go see them because it was always there. It's like the Golden Gate Bridge. It's like people freak out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, why you want to walk over the Golden Gate Bridge? Screw that. Like it's the Golden Gate Bridge. But now you take a step back and you're like, oh man, I've got to see Metallica one more time. Right. So the first time I ever really, really see Metallica was here in Nashville. Alice in Chains. Like I had the honor to interview Jerry and Mike. And then we got invited out to the show in Nashville, you know, and it's like all the cool stuff that we like. Korn literally they know, we know each other, right? Like, you know, Brian's down the street, Ray's down the street. We see each other and it's like, you know, that's stupid life. That's stupid life. Right. But all these things that you remember back home and you take for granted because it's always going to be there. And, you know, yeah, it just never got around to it. And now we're all here in Nashville together. And it's kind of like, what is this life, man?
It is funny you say that, man, because, you know, being from that area, you know, you are, like you said, we take things for granted. And I've never walked across the Golden Gate Bridge. You know, I've never been to Alcatraz. Never. You know, never. And here's something I've never done that I've always wanted to do. I've never been to Chinatown.
I've been to Chinatown. I've been
now I am going to tell you this, though. I'm going home. I'm going home for a week. I will be knocking bucket list stuff off my list. Okay.
Do it.
I am going to be going to, maybe not Alcatraz, because I don't think anybody I'm going to be with my family wants to go do that. But
yeah,
I went underneath the Golden Gate Bridge, though.
Yeah.
I went in one of those little boat ride things, you know. Yeah. I had gone back in like, I think 08 or 09, and I brought one of my homegirls with me because she wanted to go check out the bay. So I took her there and we went and we got to do some of those things. You know, I took her to the pier. Obviously the pier's dope, you know. Yeah. But we never went across the bridge or anything. I mean, of course, everyone's been down Lombard.
Well, yeah, that's yeah. No, see, I've never walked across the Golden Gate. I've rode across it many a times, but never ever have I been like, let's walk this motherfucker. Hell no. I'm just old enough to remember 89. Thank you very much, and I don't want any part of that bridge with my 2 feet.
Yeah. I was living in Germany when the 89 one hit, but a lot of my family was obviously got affected by it. Yeah, that thing was felt all the way down to Monterey as well.
Yeah, that's
the high school I went to in Salinas. When I came back to California after living in Germany, when I came back to Salinas to go to high school, the pillars in that school were all like bandaged up because they were all cracked. You know,
yeah.
And those old buildings from back in the day, like they're all made out of like, you know, what clay or whatever the hell they're made out of, you know, the old 1900 buildings and stuff. But so back to the music thing and stuff. So, you know, so growing up, you know, did you want to do anything with music? Like, you know, what were you doing in high school?
I never really, like, believe it or not, here's where I'm going to lose all the followers and everybody. They're going to be like, oh my God, look at this poser. Take them tattoos off, you poser. I always loved music, right? I was always a rocker kid. Always, you know, never went through the phases. Always just stuck to this day, one genre, and haven't moved since. And it's you know, like I love all music, especially being in the position I am now. You have to open your ears to it, right? You have to listen to everything. But I was never musically inclined. Like I could play drums a little bit, but not enough to be like, let's start a band. You know, like I could never. For all you guys that play instruments and stuff like that, I just I can't. I tried. I always wanted to. The super secret time. Hopefully nobody's listening to this, but I do sing a little bit. For those, that's been a rumor. I do get berated every now and again on a karaoke night. Of course, sing, but I don't do it in public much. That was always my thing with music was singing. Big, you know, Alice in Chains infused, whatever you want to call that. You know, no, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, what's your go-to karaoke song?
Gosh, probably it'd be Wood or Them Bones.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, yep. Or for the other side of me, Gary Allen, another homer.
Oh, right? That's a classic, dude.
Bro, I love Gary Allen. Like like Smoke Rings in the Dark, something like that. I mean, it says yeah. So,
I mean. The way I look at it, man, like, okay, what a lot of people don't know about me is, you know, first off, my first love for music was hip hop. You know, I was a big hip hop head until I moved to Germany in 6th grade, where I got introduced to Metallica and Iron Maiden, and I hated it. I was like, what is this shit? Mm-hmm. And my mom's friend's son brought over 2 albums, and it was Injustice for All, and it was Number of the Beast, 2 classic albums. And I was like, this is no, thank you. Yeah. And he was leaving, and I was like, hey man, can you leave those here with me for a little bit? And he's like, oh yeah, sure. So he leaves them, and I put them on, and bro, I fucking fell in love. I was like, this shit's amazing. So then all my money I had, I just went and started buying albums and albums.
Yep.
But no, my favorite genre of music though is hair metal. I'm a hair metal nerd.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I respect
Hair
it.
metal
I like
and
it.
I mean Motley Crue, Skid Row, Junkyard, you know, Enough's Enough, like Cinderella, Poison, all that shit, you know.
Yeah.
It's but at the end of the day, I like good music. So, you know,
Right.
there's so many great bands out there, you know.
That's why I say overall music. If it's good, I like it. I'm gonna listen to it. Even Falling in Reverse, I'll listen to.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you that man is a genius, dude. Like
Really
I mean, everything that they put out is a hit. Everything they put out.
Everything.
You know, is it because they released one single every 3 months? Who knows?
Maybe.
But hey, Ronnie does what he does, and
we play it. We're spinning it. Everybody else is, and it's getting monstrous listens, monstrous reviews, and the hate's not even hate that he gets. That's the genius part about it is everybody's like, oh, Ronnie's in the news again. Yeah, Ronnie's in the news again. And you're gonna listen to that new single, right? And then he throws Kelly in there too, and it's like, oh man, it's not even fair what he's doing right now. And his detractors are the one that's putting him on the higher pedestal than his fans. So yeah, he's a genius.
What did you think of his reimagined versions of Last Resort?
Didn't like it. No hesitation. Didn't like it.
Yeah.
Didn't.
I like to see that he's talented and he can play the piano.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Because you know, when you were a kid, we all thought playing the piano was geeky and nerdy, and now I wish I could play the piano because apparently it's a magnet to the ladies.
It's
but so I mean, you know, not all of us play. I didn't play music until I moved to Clarksville and was said, hey, we need a bass player, and I was like, I don't know how to play bass, and they're like, we'll show you. I'm like, okay. And they're like, if you don't know what you're doing, just follow the kick drum. I'm like, bet. So I did that for almost 20 years.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's the one thing with music. It's always just been a listener's delight, so to speak. And like I don't know, through, you know, playing sports through high school and then even, you know, out of high school and just going to the gym, like you just put on whatever. You know, I used to be real bad I used to be an album guy as opposed to playlists. I'll be honest, I didn't get into, even probably to this day, I still am an album guy as opposed to just a playlist guy. You know, it's like I've had a few people walk into my life that have been like, you need like to stop this. Like it's the same 4 albums over and over. And I'm like, yeah, but they're so good. Like they're so good. You're 1999. It's so good. You know? Well, so yeah, playlists are a kind of a new thing for me. It's, yeah, I guess I just admitted something to the world right there.
Hey, man. I mean, here's my thing is I like a playlist, Pandora, cool, whatever. And I'm going to tell you why I say these things, because they're cool. But when I hear a song, I'm like, all right. And then I expect to hear that next song that's supposed to come from the record. Then I'm like, fuck it. I got to listen to the record now. So then I put that record on.
That's why I always say you got to play it out. Now I got to play this out of my head. Yeah, that's how it is. Yeah. Yep.
You ever get it? You know what I always think is, and I have to do that at work, I get random songs stuck in my head. And even though I don't know why these certain songs are in my head, I have to play them. And I don't even know how I know these lyrics.
Yes.
You know, like today, it's not a bad song, but I had The Gambler in my head, but Kenny Rogers, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, where did this come from? So I had to put it on, you know?
I'm the same way. I'm the same. And it doesn't matter. It could be, it's just the littlest trigger. Yeah, I know it's exactly what I can't even think. It's a Disney song. Something about don't talk about Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno. Like it was brought to my attention a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, shut up. And then listened to it once, and then it got back in my head, and I was like, I had to listen to it again in the privacy of my own vehicle. So yeah, I'm with you. Once it's stuck in your head, you gotta play it out.
Yep. So let's talk some more about this Asylum Radio. So you start this up, okay?
Yep.
And how does one start a radio network?
Man, like, I wish I could tell you like how it was really done. Like, honestly, I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. Like, I was there. Obviously, I was there for the beginning of it, right? Like, I started the damn thing up.
Uh-huh.
But like, I don't know. It just kind of, before I started the asylum, I had worked at 2 other quote unquote digital radio stations, right? And I didn't really understand what it was because I was coming from FM and I was like, this ain't real. Like, it's not, But then I kind of started to catch the flow of it. And both of those were like, you know how you get your hands on something and then next thing you know, kind of like when you think of so and so, you think of this, And so that was with these 2 stations instantly. That's instantly how it happened. And it's just like, okay, we can say and do what we want. I don't want to be told what not to say or what I can.
Yeah.
Like this, I just got out of that in FM. Like, that's what this is for. This is not what this is for. And so with both of those stations, I learned a lot. I took everything I learned and I was like, there's got to be a way that you can start your own station for the good of the music, right? And advertising comes, right? And all that other bullshit that comes along with it, which I say that with love. Bullshit with love. Magazine articles, I'm very grateful for. I've been in, a few here and there. The opportunities we've gotten with bands, very grateful for. But my thing with the asylum, more than anything, how it was started and how it was built, was I wanted to make sure it was music first and foremost. We didn't do it for any other reason. We weren't trying to pander to, whatever, whoever. We weren't trying to get in doctors' offices. We weren't trying to get, at the Predators games. We were just like, okay, here's what was your favorite radio station growing up? Mine was KSJO, right? Back home. So you take your favorite radio station and you couple that with a playlist of music that you would want to listen to nonstop, right? And so you build this just monstrous, glorified playlist that you just happen to plug into a server. And I learned how to program it all into the programs that we run these stations through. Throw in a couple of stationalities here and there. And the next thing you know, one local band leads to another local band, leads to bigger bands, leads to, we're getting, not to name drop, but I won't just because I don't want to sound like a douchebag, but we get some pretty big bands that come to us and was like, what you're doing is amazing. And at the time, COVID was starting to click, right? So everybody was getting locked in.
Yeah.
Bands weren't able to go out and play. Nobody was wanting to go out to host shows or whatever. And so that really was the biggest factor of how we put this thing together, was the support of the community in Nashville, the Nashville scene, like, because that is where it started, was in Nashville.
Okay.
So yeah, that, I know that was a really wide answer, but that is how thing was started. Yeah, that is how this thing was started. Was we wanted to build something that we would want to listen to, and we would think everybody else would want to listen to, and more importantly, not like your favorite music. Like I was the biggest one to say day one, okay, everybody load in your 30 favorite songs. If I hear 2 fucking Motley Crue songs in a row, I'm gonna take your playlist from you. And then I point my finger back at me and I look back and I got 10 Deftones fucking songs loaded up. And I was like, all right, time out. Okay. So you got to go with what people want to hear, what will make them never turn it off. And then to sprinkle in with the DJs that we have, it's the same thing. To be in radio, you got to be talented, right? Everybody has their own opinion here and there. I want personalities. Anybody can read a piece of paper. Anybody could read that Joe's Crab Shack has a 2-for-1 on margaritas every Thursday night. And now here's more Nirvana, right? That's not what I wanted. I wanted real personality. Like, what's your opinion? Not politics, not religion, but just you talking to that one person that's having a hard fucking day on a commute home anywhere in the world that they're listening to, that they can relate to you, the dumbass behind the mic that is like, whatever, fucking stubbed my toe on the coffee table again this morning while I was going to make coffee. I was so pissed off about it, forgot my fucking coffee, and now here we are. Now, here's Falling in Reverse. It's that's what I wanted. That's what a relatable station that was playing for the people, not for the advertising dollars, not for the corporation, and not for these bigger conglomerates that are buying up all this shit right now, and everything sounds the same. Everybody sounds the same.
Yeah.
And we weren't afraid to do it. And I haven't been afraid to say things like that out loud because, we do this all on our own. We're 100%, grassroots here. So
With the music that you play on there, I mean, do you have to get the approval from the labels or the bands and whatnot?
it's so through all the programming that we have, everything is, we pay for it. So,
Okay. Yeah.
basically we are a full on radio station that just like any other radio station in the world, we pay for the, for the rights, and then
Yeah.
we play. And of course, anything that we put on, like like we're big, one-on-one with the bands, and, we'd love to either get to interview with you, or, maybe we'll come host a show, or we definitely, spin a new single or whatever. So I think in order to play a band's music anyways, you want the interaction first and foremost anyhow, regardless you need it or not. Because if you're just playing it, what's the purpose? What's the point? Like we want to let them know, hey, we love your shit, and we love it so much that we want to play it. Also, we want to incorporate, this interview or this segment or whatever, as opposed to just playing it. And then, in my opinion, that's not how you introduce music to the world, right? You can't, you can't do like some of these other stations, whether it be digital, XM or FM, whatever you want to call it. You can't make people love music by playing the same songs, 30 songs, 24 hours a day. Like that's, so it's got to have life behind it. So yeah, we try to reach out to bands and incorporate bands, and it's not just here in Tennessee. It's literally worldwide. Like we did in the beginning, we had a band out of Italy that we kind of became really close with, and then they broke up. We've had bands. Gosh, there was a Japanese rock band, which was, blew my mind. Like just blew my mind. Like just how like really good they were. Like they were like progressive metal, and I was like, okay, all right, let's go. And then of course all over the States. Like we just have people submit their music from all over, and we just pick and pop what we think is good, and that's how we do it, man.
You guys have, I mean, I know it's all independent and whatnot with what you have going on. You do it yourself and stuff, but do you guys have like an hour or so that you guys do, like, local or unsigned bands, or is everybody just thrown in the mix and played together?
So we have had segments like that in the past. We've had locals only, or different little segments. Novella has a segment called The Ward, where she spotlights certain bands. And what I found with that is it kind of pigeonholed us, because it was like we found ourselves just doing Austin, or just doing Nashville, or just doing LA, and then when we took a step back, we were like, okay, well, what about Birmingham, or what about Boise? Like what about that band from Jersey? So what then I decided to do from that is, okay, so how we're going to throw this mix now, and how I kind of program the station is like, okay, so it is a lot of independent music, but you're also going to hear Shine Down. You're going to hear a Nirvana song in there. You're going to hear Falling in Reverse in there. So, and what we've come to find out is like bands love that shit. Like they like to have a spotlight segment, so to speak, but they love to know that they just went back to back, or they just got sandwiched in between Shine Down and Nirvana. You know what I'm saying? And that's just come through like not even like study groups. That's just me kind of putting it out there and kind of just talking to bands and shit. And they're like, yeah, cool. Segments are cool, but that's 1 hour in a 24-hour process. Of a day, you could hear our shit anytime. And I was like, man, that's a good point. Like, that's a really good point. So it's like, why can't we celebrate the independence 24 hours a day? And that's kind of what we do.
So are you Monday through Friday? Are you, and even on the weekends? I mean, are you like just like regular radio? Like, do you have like somebody at 12 o'clock, somebody at 3 o'clock, somebody at like 6? Like, do you guys have spots, or is it like just like recorded spots at times?
We record spots. The night shifts are a little recorded. The middays are kind of our sweet spot right now. And so like, it's the holiday season. It seems to be like everybody, because we do this on our own time, own dime
Yeah, for
type
sure.
situation. So it's kind of like as we can, so if we have to take time off, then we pre-record. Yeah, of course. But when we're going full speed, we have a pretty solid block. Everybody kind of pre-records, and then day before, and then we have the live shit too. So
Yeah. Um, I do know not a lot, but some radio, they do some recording. The bigger stations do recording. I notice that a lot too, because you'll see that you'll hear them on the radio, but then they're across
yeah,
from me at a restaurant eating dinner. It's
yeah,
like, wait a second,
yeah.
you're on right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, so, like for you right now, like, how many days a week do you do it live?
5 days,
Okay.
and I will record just because the schedule is really busy. But I don't like to get too far ahead because
Yeah.
it changes so fast. Like I don't want to be, talking about, what I thought was relevant 2 days ago, and then something colossal happened in music, and I just,
Yeah.
why didn't Diego mention anything about, the new tour or whatever, And so I like, and then there's be some days where I'll record ahead of time, or any of us will record ahead of time, and then it's like we'll go back and recut because it's like, okay, that's that's a huge tour. We should talk about it, and you can program around it too. So yeah, there's advantages to pre-recording. There's also disadvantages. It takes that feel away from it. It takes that, like you say, like I've been there in FM where I'm like, they make you pre-record the last hour of your show, and then you just kind of slowly slip into the bar, and they just have you playing the station, and it's like you're sitting at the bar and you hear you, and it's like, oh man, like it takes that feel away from it. So we try not to do that too much, but it happens.
So are you guys heavily active on the social medias?
Yes.
Yeah.
All the time. Yeah.
I feel that social media is probably a big help for you guys.
Yes.
I listen to so much crap at work. I mean, I've listened to you guys. Like I'll probably say at least once a week. I'll give it a whirl because I got so many podcasts I've been listening to and so many things. But I enjoy the format. Now you guys have about what 8 or 9 people with you on there. Also, you got more than that.
I think we have total of like 21 now, 21 in 10 different states, I think is where we're at with that right now. So yeah, we everybody kind of, they have their own, like we have the Ohio syndicate, we have the New York syndicate. I think we got somebody in Texas, if I'm not mistaken. I got Virginia Beach covered, Florida. I know I'm missing some, of course, Tennessee.
Yeah.
And then California. I mean, we don't really we have me, you know what I'm saying? Like, so like, a lot of people still think I'm there, and it's like, like it goes without saying. So yeah, we try and when I reach out to somebody that wants to, be a DJ or whatever, and it's like, there's a couple stipulations that come with it, like I give you the keys, quote unquote, to the kingdom to do whatever you want to with it, but you got to be a worker, Same thing goes with bands, man. You got to we'll promote the shit out of whoever, but if you're not doing your part, then like it's you got to hustle. And the same thing of being a DJ here. You got to hustle yourself. You can make if you make $1 million off a Kraft mac and cheese sponsorship that you got yourself, I'll never stick my hand in your pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a make or take business. And I just think it's fair. I mean, people have called me crazy. People have told me I'm stupid for that, but like, I didn't. I hate mac and cheese. You heard it here first. Why would I ever take 10% of your guap off your mac and cheese deal? You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, it's a dick move, man.
What's your hatred for the mac and cheese?
I don't know. I think I don't know, bro. I don't know. I just think it's like it's too much now. I don't know. I just lost my taste for it. Like I used to love mac and cheese. Okay, so I'll eat mac and cheese if it's got bacon, or like I ate like a lobster mac and cheese one time off this food truck. But just like mac and cheese, it has to be. I'm a little bougie, I guess, with my food. Like if it comes off a street truck, I'm gonna eat it. Like
Oh yeah.
it could be dog, and I'd be like, this is some good shit. Like come off your street truck, huh? Cool, cool. But yeah, just plain old mac and cheese. I don't know. I just can't. It's gotta have bacon or pepper or something. Come on.
So was Novella one of your original members of you on the station?
She was. She kind of I don't know. I make the joke of like we found her all alone and abandoned in a Wendy's parking lot eating a double bacon cheeseburger out of the trash can. It was me and Cruz who originally got together with Novella. We kind of it was like a friendship that, they were into craft beers and we all love sports, like, and we all have hatred for each other's teams. So it was just a natural friendship. And then, yeah, just over time, Cruz and I, we had done a morning show on another station. We had done a midday show and we'd done an overnight show. And then he moved on. He's still with us in the background, so to speak, to this very second. But then she kind of stepped in. We had a podcast called Inked and Chattered. We went like 101. I think we did like 101 episodes. Okay. And then towards the end, she kind of jumped in, was like our producer for it. And from that blossomed the idea of, that's where I started getting the itch to get back into the radio side. And so she was like, well, shit, I'll go 50-50. I don't really know. I'm calling her out a little bit right now, but like she said, I really don't know shit about radio except for I like music. I'm willing to learn. I'll go 50-50 to help you start it for startup. And I was like, all right, well, let's go. I can teach anything, when it comes to this side. And so that's kind of how Novella came about, was like, we literally met her one day at the tattoo shop. Like that was, yeah. And then we all just became friends.
I love your guys' little, you pick on her and what she wears. I like how you always make fun of what she's wearing. It's great. It's like a brother sister.
It really is, like, and that's exactly what we all are. We're all dysfunctional ass family. Like we are just like that, like brothers and sisters. Like we fight like brother and sister. Yeah, make fun of each other. Yeah, that's funny you say that, because that is like our go-to, is like, feels like we're about to get some dead air or something's getting a little boring. Make fun of Novella. That's it.
I should have had you send her this link as well, and then she could have jumped in on this.
I know, right? Yeah, she got to get on in this too, and then we just made fun of whatever she's wearing.
We're not wearing.
Yeah.
I kid. I know, but no. But so with the Asylum radio network, like, what are some of the bands that you've had come talk with you, man?
Well, the biggest one, and it's one of those that it blows our mind every time. Like, the very big supporter, Chevelle. Chevelle's a huge supporter of us. Like, it blows my mind. Like, literally to the point of, like, we were in Knoxville doing a show. I think they opened for Korn. And like their people got a hold of us and was like, why didn't you let us know that you guys were out here in the tents? We would have came out. And I was like, oh shit, because you guys, that's because you're Chevelle and we're us. And like, why would you, I think was my exact response. The Korn family is very big, with, like I said, with the people out here that are out here. POD gives us a little bit of love here and there. They kind of got a weird history with, it started with like their road guys, and then just led to the band. So we've got a really good working relationship with them. Let's see, Varsity is a huge supporter of us, as we are of them. Anytime they're in town, we're there, and and they're very hands-on with us, I guess you can say. Joey's a badass, even though he won't admit it. He's a badass. List goes on, man. The list goes on. And then, of course, all the Nashville, everybody that comes through Nashville, everybody's here now.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
Literally everybody's here. All the Disturbed boys, they're all here. You never know who you're going to run into any given night. And that honestly right there, just kind of being that, like, what do they always say? Like, act like you've been there before. It's not that I've been there before. I'm just too dumb and occupied to realize who's standing next to me. So I'm just like, hey, I got to get up on this stage real fast. Good to see you, like, and then I'm like, wait a minute, was that fucking Elvis? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So
it's different too. Like, you know who the people are, but when you're in a dark lit place and you can barely see who's next to you, and you can only see like a silhouette and maybe a little bit of
Yeah.
skin, and it's like you can't really tell. I get it,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Dad, is that you? No, no. Just
no, he's still out getting milk, man.
yeah, he still never came back. He still never came back.
With the station, you said you doing gigs and stuff, like, sponsoring a show or hosting a show and stuff. What are some of the what do you have coming up? What kind of shows you guys have coming up? Anything?
Um, let's see. I think January 17th, I'm doing a album release party for Original Self. I'll be hosting that
Okay.
at the Cowan. I want to say. I think I'm dead wrong on that.
The Cow.
Let's
What
see.
is that?
We got. Let me see. I got a flyer here on my phone. Like I should be better than that, but I'm not.
Nah, you're good.
And then we're also working. Can't really talk about it right now.
Okay.
Let's see. January 17th, Friday, 7:00.
Okay.
The East Room. I'm sorry. That's going to be Through the Motions, The Far Between, Original Self. I'll be hosting that show, which is going to be sick. And if I'll give them the pop. If you've never been to an Original Self show, you should do yourself a favor and come out the 17th of January. Just come out and enjoy that show. It's gonna be fun. That'll be fun as shit. And then the other thing, we're working on festival season. We kind of took last year off because the year before we ended up hosting Blue Ridge Rock Fest, and then ran the media for it as well. And 2 years later, I'm going to talk about it now because there was a lot of things that went sideways on that.
At the Blue Ridge.
That Blue Ridge, yeah. But we were like one of the only things that came out pretty clean there. Was the media side. So like we pride ourselves on running that media that year. And I got myself
the year
a couple times.
Was that the year with the money? Was that the year that was the money year where people? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. More to come. I'll give you the exclusive on that next time. Yeah. Just a couple more red tapes I got to step through.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah. The money that, well, never mind. I'm not going to get into it, but
I can say it. You cannot say.
Yeah, and there you go. Yeah, I can't say it all the way. You can say whatever you want.
No. So, but what was the highlight of that fest?
Getting to get out in front of everybody, and like that was I've hosted a lot of shows, but to stand up in front of a huge fucking crowd, like it's one of those things where, like, first and foremost, you're like, what am I even? Who am I to even be doing this right now? And then the reaction from the crowd, is it's euphoric, right? And just to get out there and just bring on shit. Anybody, the janitor would be an honor in front of all those people. I got to do, getting to do that a few times. And then I guess the highlight would be, of course, it went sideways. They canceled it, a day and a half into the festival.
Yeah.
So I got, as everybody was, it was starting to not go well. We'll put it like that. We won't call it a full on riot, but it was starting to not look good. I was contacted by these 4 other bands that said, hey, got an idea. Would you want to come and host this, let's close it down show on the fairgrounds? And I was like, yeah, of course. And it was Heartsick is who got a hold of me. And of course they, there was some bigger names involved as well. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. I think it'd be fun. And I didn't think much of it at the time, especially at the time, because Shinedown and Oliver Anthony and Papa Roach were doing an acoustic set just down the way from where everybody was camping at, like unplugged, And so it was a big crowd over there. And so I didn't think much of it. And by the time we got that show set up, I think they said we had around 7,000 people in that little camping area at that tent that we put that show on, and we closed down Blue Ridge. I mean, it was pretty cool. Like that was, I think there was a story in Rolling Stone about it. I think I was told that that's where we made Rolling Stone magazine. So I was like, that's badass. Like that's bad. Who the fuck are we to be in Rolling Stone magazine? For just for getting out and, for lack of better words, being a bunch of assholes, having a little bit of fun, playing music and just trying to de-stress.
Sometimes that's more memorable for the people that went, something that just pops up like that. You take in something that was bad and made a good out of it,
Yep.
I remember seeing Jacoby from Papa Roach posting the videos of them doing the acoustic. He's like, "What up?" You know how he always be like, "What up,
Yeah.
man?" You got this
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
out there,
yeah.
and that was pretty cool. Is Blue Ridge still around? Was it here this year?
It was not here. I don't think it was here this year. I don't think it's going to be here, or it wasn't here last year. I don't think it's going to be here this year. But we're putting our hat in the ring for a couple of the other festivals. I know Louder Than Life. We're probably going to be at Louder Than Life. Probably anything that comes to Ohio. So it'd be Incarceration.
Mm-hmm.
And then, gosh, I'm drawing a blank on these other ones. And we always try to have the insider down there in Sacramento for Aftershock. We do have some friends that, we try to send, if we can, we try to send them on and do media for us down there. So we like having our hands in everything, no matter how big or small it is. We don't look at it as, oh, fucking 4 days of Louder Than Life, or oh, it's a 20-room cap, on a Tuesday night in Nashville. If we can be a part of it and it's live and we can entertain one or 1 million, it's fucking worth it.
I just said this a couple weeks back on a podcast, for bands, it doesn't matter if there's 2 people there or 1,000 people there. You play that show for those 2 people like you would for like there's 1,000 people there. You never know who's going to be there and see you and spread the word,
That's right. Yep.
So, when you host it, you just host a stage, right? Like, do you have a stage or do you work on?
For Blue Ridge, it was a couple different stages. And then normally though, it's just a stage. Yeah. It's just one.
Is it do you do it the whole day, or is it just like up to a certain point, and then once they get to certain bands, like certain sized bands, it's like, okay, no more hosting?
Just depends on who's involved. It depends on who else is involved.
Understand. Okay. Yep. Okay. No, I mean, you were saying you get up there and they're cheering. I mean, they probably thought you were one of the band dudes,
That's it. 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%.
You're probably up there with your Dickies shorts on,
I was. Yeah, that happened with POD a couple years back in Orlando. Like we blended in well. Yeah, we'll keep it at that.
So, what was Diego's first concert ever?
I don't remember the year, but it was at the Shoreline Amphitheater, which is still alive and kicking. And
hell yeah, it is.
It was Eddie Money.
Wow, that's not bad. That's not bad. That's good shit.
Yep.
I saw Lollapalooza '94 there.
Nice. Hell yeah.
August. I graduated and went back out and saw that. I actually have a picture of Green Day playing on that stage. And when I moved to Tennessee, I still kick myself in the ass for this. I had tickets. It was in July, right before I moved here. It was Stone Temple Pilots, Nirvana. Yeah. And those are the only 2 I remember on the bill. And I did not go. It was it was in San Francisco, yeah, but I didn't get to go. My mom was like, "No, we're moving." And then the opportunity never existed again,
That was that.
But,
Yeah, that's man. And going to shows, like it never gets old, right? Like there's never a time, like from my first show, like the Eddie Money concert, and then like I think my first actual show that I went to that I bought with my own money was Van Halen at Shoreline.
Nice.
Yeah, like it was right after Eddie cut his hair. They come back. It's like when Sammy kissed and made up with everybody. They come out with Pound Cake and that album.
Yep.
And then like I moved out here and I just kind of went. I went dry spell for a little bit. Did the angsty teenager thing. I ain't never coming out of my room and blah 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 blah. You took me away from the beach and blah blah blah. I think the first show I went to out here, I want to say it was 2004, 5, 6, something like that. It was Family Values, and that really reinvigorated. But the point of all that is, like when I was a kid, all the way up to I have a 17-year-old now that she like.
Wow.
She loves going to shows. We just went to Nothing More. It was and that's of course, why wouldn't she have a huge crush on Johnny? So she's like, I was like, do you love Nothing More? Do you like Johnny? And she's like, I love Nothing More. And I was like, okay, all right. So we'll go. and you know, that was probably actually the last show I went to. But yeah,
Really?
it never gets old. Like, it just never gets old. There's even like, you're like, fuck, I don't want to go. I don't want to drive out. But if you can get me there, it's gonna be a good time. You know, like
Mhm.
that's. So I think live music is, you know, just extremely important to anyway. And
I
it doesn't
mean,
have to be rock. It doesn't even have to be rock. Like, it could be any venue. It could be down Second Avenue. Somebody at Tootsie's fucking just
mhm.
strumming a
Oh,
guitar
man.
while Morgan Wallen throws a fucking chair off the roof. You know, like.
You know, yeah, the last show I went to, I mean, last show I went to was, I don't know, I'm trying to remember. I think maybe Weezer.
Okay.
I think the Weezer, Dinosaur Jr. Flaming Lip show at Bridgestone. I think that was the last one.
How was
I
that?
amazing.
God damn.
First off, Dinosaur Jr. Is a loud band, really loud. That's actually who opened up for Alice in Chains in San Jose.
Really?
But really loud, and you know, you've been into Bridgestone, correct?
Oh yeah. No.
Yeah. And that place is already loud. Well, imagine
Mm.
it like, even, you know, they were just raw dogging it. You know, it was good. Flaming Lips. I know the hits from like the 90s. That's
Right.
about all I knew.
Right.
They sold me. They sucked me in. They put on an amazing show. And then of course Weezer took me back to the summer of '94, and I was just like, you know, because they did, once the Blue album hit, man, that whole
It's a
place
wrap.
went ape shit.
Yep.
Yep. Oh yeah.
That's a wrap.
I was singing. I was like, I got done. I was talking like this, you know, but it was great, dude. But me and my buddy Eric from Clark's, Eric Daly, do you know him?
Yeah, I know Eric. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he paid me half and half, but I bought us tickets to go see this little bitty band. I hope they make it big one day. But for some reason they got lucky, and they're playing LP Field. They're called Metallica.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, they're a new band. They're new. So yeah. But
Okay.
it's it costs $1,000 for these, for 4 tickets for it's 2 days. You know, we got 2-day ticket, or you know, two-day tickets, because they're playing the 1st and the 3rd of May.
Yeah.
But they're playing, I think the first night it's Pantera and Suicidal.
Yep.
Fucking amazing. The
Yep.
second night is Limp Bizkit and Ice Nine Kills.
Yep.
I'm familiar with all those bands. Not really familiar with the Ice Nine Kill stuff. I mean, I know who they are.
Yeah.
I know Doc Coyles from the band God Forbid and Bad Omens plays in the band, or Bad Wolves. Sorry,
Bad Wolves. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, we got floor seats. So my old ass is gonna be standing for who knows how many hours in the heat in May in Nashville.
It's gonna be swampy. You're gonna be able to, like, you know, have to take all the what they call it, the monkey butt, the baby powder. It's gonna be swamp ass.
Man,
2.0.
dry. Oh man, it'd be raw. It's gonna be raw the next day,
bro. Like, just minimal movements, short steps.
Yeah. You said you saw Metallica. Where did you see them at?
At Bridgestone. I saw them at Bridgestone for the oh man, I can't. The tour where they're the first time they ever did the square stage with the black balloons, and their first incarnation of that.
Death Magnetic.
Death Magnetic. Yes.
Did Lamb of God open up for that?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Lamb of God, Gojira, and
that's when they brought Lemmy on stage.
Yes.
Lemmy was there. Yep.
We Are Part of History.
Yeah, that's
on his documentary.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, because he comes unplugged for a minute, and I remember watching that, and then they had to scurry over there and plug him back in.
Yeah.
But still, like, that shit is that shit was. That's bucket list. Like, that's bucket list.
You get to see Metallica, but then you also get to see Metallica play with Lemmy.
Yes.
Motorhead songs.
Yep.
You know,
which is crazy.
Because I've never got to see Motorhead, and I saw Lemmy. It's okay. I saw I saw his ass. That's all I got to see. His back was to me. So.
I was on the other side. Yeah, so we were across the stage from each other. Yeah.
I saw you, man. No,
I saw you there. I saw the hat.
I think I was actually at that same Family Values tour too. Was Deftones there?
Oh, of course they were.
Yeah.
That's
why you went.
That was why when they co-headlined, and that was when Chino may or may not have had the blow up, and it may or may not have been very dramatic set. Still good, still
Yeah.
good. But yeah.
And I already know this, but I'm gonna say for the people who don't know it, I'm gonna say Deftones is your favorite band.
Yeah, yeah, they are. Yeah,
How
yeah.
many Deftone tattoos do you have?
Believe it or not, I don't have any. Believe it or not, I don't have one. It was I always planned on getting the pony, but it just never happened.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I don't have any. I don't have any that I can.
Wow.
Yeah, no.
Do you have any band tattoos?
I do not.
Okay.
I do not.
All right.
Yeah, out of all the like, and I'm covered, but out of all the tattoos, I think the only like, I don't have any sports logos. I don't have any bands. I don't have no Kraft mac and cheese box on me. Like I got nothing. All my shit's like, yeah. I'm boring now. I think about it.
If I do, I gave up on. I mean, I haven't given. I gave up when I was for a while. I'm going to go back, but I've always wanted to get an SF tattoo, and the Giants SF logo. But I wanted to get it on my forearm, like just the whole fucking from my fold of my arm to my wrist. I just wanted to get a big fucking solid SF because I was thinking this when I'm playing when I was a bass player. When I play, that's all you're gonna fucking see.
That's all you see.
Just, yeah.
That's all you see. Wait a minute. Wait.
You lied.
I'll find it. Keep going. I think I do have the SF logo now.
I thought about getting like the SF though, but inside the SF have like a Niners, like the mining guy, and the Warriors. Well, I can't see that. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's got a little spin to it. It's got the little tail. It's got the little shark tail on it.
Yeah. That's obviously since you are from San Jose, I take it you are a huge Sharks fan.
Huge Sharks fan.
Yeah.
Like
because you've been there from the birth, really?
From day one. Yeah. From day one to where we're currently at, which still feels like day one. Yeah.
I mean, you're an 80s baby, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
85?
83. Yeah.
83. Okay.
I'll be 40.
Oh, you're my brother's age. Okay.
Yeah. I'll be 42 this year. Like, believe it or not. Yeah.
Well,
42.
I just turned 49 in November. I will be 50 this year.
Hey, we're looking good. We're looking good.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. This is my 49er year.
That's it. Yeah.
So, but no, man, this is the age that scares the living shit out of me.
Yeah.
40 didn't do nothing to me. Nah. 50, I'm like, 50. That's crazy, man. That's insane. But what got you? When did your love? Sorry, I got tongue tied there. When did your love for tattoos come about?
It was always there. It was always there. It's like my first tattoo ever. The day of my 16th birthday.
Wow.
My mom took me down San Jose Tattoo, ran by Hell's Angels. She let me get my first tattoo. I went traditional, old school, the fucking tribal band all the way around. No gaps. It closes in. The next day, I went back to the same exact tattoo parlor with my mom, of course, signed off. I got my second tattoo, like a little, just like crazy looking cat on my calf. And then that's all I got. And then, of course, moved out here, and I was still 17 at the time. And in Tennessee, it doesn't matter if Jesus himself signs for you. They will not give you that tattoo. So I had to wait a couple years, and then I just started getting them progressively after that. Once I turned 18, just started collecting it, as they say. Some had meaning, some were just like, I like that, and that's really like it. The love of tattoos has always been there, and it just got a little edgy is the right word, but I got a little more ballsy with the placement the further along in radio that I went in my career. Like I've said, okay, this is going to be something I want to do. It's kind of like, okay, so I got one below the sleeve, then I got my hands done, I got my neck done. And then against my mom's great judgment, I got the one, I got the star on my face. And that's like people are like, why would you do that? And it's because I can, and I'm still going to, keep doing what I want to do. It's not going to stop. It doesn't change who you are.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. Like you still, like you can tell the difference between, good artwork and stuff.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Without calling anybody out to the carpet. I'll just leave it at that. You can tell the difference when like somebody's got a lot of tattoos and like you probably worked your ass off for those, like, so good on you. But yeah, it's always been there. Love of tattoos always been there. Now it did Could I have told you at 16 that I was going to end up, being a piercer and working at 3 different shops? No.
Yeah.
Hell no. Hell no. That's just something that come along in life as well. But yeah, love of tattoos, man. Always been there. Always going to be there. I'll stop eventually one day, but no time soon.
You ever gonna get your head done?
No. I'll never, like, probably, I'll finish the neck and finish up the back of the neck, do the throat one day, but I'll never get my head done. No.
What made you want to start piercing?
Just something I always had an interest in as well. And well, not always, but like probably 10, 15 years ago, like I took an interest to it and I was like, that it seems like it could be a pretty badass profession. It's just like anything else. It's like, it seems like something you can do and you just keep doing and evolving in. And then it kind of went away as life, continues and, kids and divorce and moving and fucking gas being $16 a gallon and, all that shit. It's just kind of like, be realistic and, go back to the 9-to-5 slave. And then, it just come back into my life again, kind of out of nowhere. Literally the opportunity fell in my lap and I jumped on it. It was just one of those like, fate. It's not fate. I think that's a little corny. I do believe in things happen for a reason though. Yeah. And like, if you balk at it, you might not get that opportunity in my circumstance a third time. So I just kind of jumped on it and, did an apprenticeship and then, just here we are,
Is that your full hustle, piercing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes and no. Yes and no. Radio.
Do you have a 9-to-5?
I do. Yeah, I do. I think everybody has to have one these days.
Man, you ain't lying.
Bro, for those of you that do, like, for those that really know me, know that like it's almost a curse. Workaholic. I don't never stop. I sleep a couple hours, get up, do it all over again. You got your 9-to-5, and then the piercing used to be a side hustle. Now radio is a side hustle, I guess you could say. And which is nice because none of it is like, it's all passion, but none of it's just like we're doing it just because we love it. Like we're able to sustain, on some of this stuff, which is good because it shows progress and, and growth of what we're doing and, people appreciate it and all that shit. But the piercing thing, yeah, out of left field. But yeah, I do. I have a 9-to-5. There's another side of me that, a few people know, a few people see.
Yeah, we'll keep you mysterious.
That's it. I'm a fry cook on the McDonald's on Jefferson in Cookeville. Yeah.
They're gonna be like, "Is Diego working today?"
Hey man, yeah.
He told me he'd give me some free fries.
Yeah, he said he'd give me some free fries and a double cheeseburger, man. Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask the questions because they're here with the piercing. What's the most awkward piercing that you've ever had to do?
Oh man, yeah. So I'm really open with what I do and don't do. I don't do below the belt because I gave it, and it's not because what everybody thinks. It's like, oh, you got a dick in your hand. I'm like, no, it's I can be professional. It's about like I measure people up when they walk through the door, and if you can't run the old through the car wash, you can't. You can't. I'm not gonna. I don't like surprises. Let's just put it like that. I don't like surprises. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
I understand.
Yeah. The most awkward one I've done is I've done some. I don't know that I really want to talk about it, to be honest. You put me on the spot. It was awkward. I'll put it like that.
Right.
It was awkward. And thank you very much to them. We'll leave it at that.
Oh yeah. What's the most popular piercing?
Nipples.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
I know. I see a lot of people getting septum piercings these days. It's like everybody has a septum piercing. I feel like
there's a lot of septums. There's a lot of double nostrils now.
Yeah. Noses I see a lot of people with like their nose is just like blam, 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 you know?
Yeah, they're balling out. But where I'm at anyways, it's nipple piercings seem to be where it's at right now. Like it's
Is it more of a men or more women?
More women,
Yeah.
but the men also come through as well. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I do not have my nipples pierced. I remember when I was either in 7th or 8th grade when I was living in Germany. I saw Nikki Sixx get his done. And I was like, I got to get my fucking nipples done. So I took an ice cube and I went in the bathroom and I numbed my titty and I took that safety pin and just got the tip in. Kind of like my sex life, and that's it. And I stopped.
I can't. Big ups to anybody can do it. Like I do it for a living, and I can't. Like it's the there's some beasts out there that just the ones that just sit there, like men and women. You're just like, hell yeah, more power to you, because I have to do this again. So you're gonna have to hold still.
Do you got yours done?
I do not. I'm with you. There's no way. There's no way in hell. Like there's no way in hell. Like I haven't even contemplated it. I've never even stood in front of the mirror with the needle and just like, here's the day. Today's the day. No, I've got both nostrils, and then I've got this, 3 in my ear on each side, and that's it. I've had, snake bites. I've had the tongue done. Yeah, I just kind of. Yeah, I had the labrae, but now, I just keep it simple. Tattoos are more my thing.
I thought about getting, I guess now in my life it'd be a midlife crisis. I thought about getting snake bites. But
hey, come down. Yeah. Come down, do it. We'll hook you up. I'll hook you up.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought about it. I might do it, and you only live once, right?
That's it. That's it.
What they say, I'm more steps forward than I am. I'm less steps forward than I am behind me, or something like that.
Yeah. Yep.
So I might as well do what I can,
Hey man, just do it. You just got to do it. Yep.
So with the obviously radio and whatnot, this here, like your audience, where's like your biggest audience, would you say?
Well, our biggest audience is Austin, Texas.
Okay.
For one very gigantic reason. We have a pretty big supporter out there in Austin. It's a funny story how it come about that I even know about it. There's this thing called the Lonely Star Roundup in Austin, Texas. Happens every year. It's like a swap meet. It's right there in the parking lot of Jesse James Firearms. It's his shindig, and of course West Coast Choppers is just down the street, now in Austin. So this is actually in Dripping Springs. I got an email one day that was like, Jesse listens to the station. He loves it. He would like for you guys to come out. And I was like, we're in Nashville, like be more specific. I'm in Cookeville, Tennessee. That's like 100 days from Austin, Texas. And they're like, still, it would be, doesn't cost anything besides just the gas to come out, set up, just kind of be out there for the day. So we packed up and we went to Austin, and it was nothing short of amazing, because like he's like a big influence to a lot of the stuff that I've done as far as entrepreneurship and how he did it, how he built that shit from the ground up, and just being a West Coaster too, it's a pride thing, I guess. I don't really know. So to get out there and then to hear that he's like a huge fan, and to know that it played in the shop or whatever, and I was like, what the fuck, get out of here. Like, how do you even know who we are, who I am, who she is, type situation. So that's led to one of our biggest market is Austin, Texas, by the numbers. Number two is Nashville. Number 2 is Nashville. And then I think it's LA, and then New York.
Hell yeah, man.
And then Knoxville. Yeah.
Not bad markets to be in.
Not at all. Not at all. I'm not mad at it at all.
So yeah, that's kind of cool, man. Like I always wondered about that. Like how, obviously we all can see our numbers, right? Whether you're a podcaster or whether you're a band, you can see your numbers. And I was just wondering about that. That's cool, man. So in Nashville though, do you have any competition?
I mean, I think we're all each other's competition. Like
radio.
I'm a firm believer, like in the work together, never be like too intimidated to share your recipe on how to bake
Mhm.
your cookies, because like everybody's is a little different. You know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah, for sure.
I I I don't play the guarded game. If people, I mean, well, shit, I just told you 30 minutes ago how we program this station. It's
Yeah, for
really
sure.
it's the way I've always played, even in FM. It's like I, I always say I would give you the recipe book, but you've got to put it together. Like in my eyes, like the team that I have is kind of the ingredients that nobody else has. Now you might be able to do the same thing, but it's not going to sound the same. It's not going to look the same, because the team and the people that surround us and our supporters, and really it's the fans of the station and the supporters of the station, that make us what we are. And so to say, do we have competition? Of course. Like I think
Yeah,
everybody, I think the FM stations are, I think the
yeah,
XM stations are, I think all DJs across the board have silent competitions with each other and with themselves. I think if you don't look at it that way, then you're stale and you're washed and you're not as good as what you think you are. And so that's why, you never stop learning. You never stop growing. You never think that you're on top, because as soon as you are, somebody's going to knock you off. So that's the
yeah.
game we play. That's the way I run this station. And that's the kind of the way I live life. And I think you should never assume, you should never think you're on top or you're the best, because it probably means
Yeah.
that you're not, if you have to say it.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%, man. I'd rather just be humble and do my thing, not try to say I'm better than somebody or ever say that. That's why I like some of these musicians and some of these celebrities that are still one of the homies, that they just because they make $1 here and there, they're still one of the homies, they chill, the other station, there's another station I know of, Gimme Metal.
Mhm.
Have you heard of that? Yeah.
Yep.
I know Megadeth is a big supporter of them, and that's how I
Yep.
heard about them.
Yep.
It's all right, not too bad. I think you got to pay for that after so long or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
So for the Asylum, obviously it's free. Yeah,
hmm
that's
hmm
awesome, man.
Yeah.
I,
On every platform we're on, like it goes hand in hand with everything I just said too. I don't think you should have to pay
yeah,
to, what I mean? So we found a way to free apps. We're on 3 different apps, including with Roku TV. It's a free app too. So like I would never. We went into that saying, okay, we do develop any apps or we do anything, like I'm never going to charge for it, because I would never buy it. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah. Oh, for
if
sure.
I would never buy it, I'm not going to tell you to go buy it to listen to my product. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Is that something that you've thought about doing, an app?
We've toyed around with it. We've toyed around with our own app.
Hmm.
With the kind of the servers that we run off of, we don't really like. We kind of do have our own app.
Yeah,
We've advertised it as such, but we put ourselves on so many different platforms just to get out there, because it is, man. Like there's so many different apps in smart cars that's not on the TV, that's not on your phone, that's not in a computer, and we don't ever
yeah,
want to be. The thing that I try to stay ahead of the game on is, like, I don't ever want to just be, well, you can only go to our website and stream us on on a computer, or you can only download this free app on your phone and listen to it through your aux in your car or
yeah,
Bluetooth in your car, like, or only be, I want to be everywhere accessible, because that's what this game is about, man. If you say different, you're lying. I don't want to go search for something. I get in a car. I want it playing immediately. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, especially like a station or something like that. That's where a lot of people lose their listeners or whatever, is that well, I had to download this and I had to plug this and I had to wait for this to buffer. And it's like, no, it's there. It's there. It's there. It's there. It's even here when you get into your office space, which is why we decided to go with Roku TV, is because, man, these tattoo shops and skate shops and,
hmm,
the head shops, or excuse me, the holistic shops nowadays. You can't call them head shops anymore. Uh,
hmm.
you know, shit, the vape shops, like, everybody's got Roku, and so it's a free
Yeah.
app. Yeah, I mean, it's not costing you anything, and there it is. So that's the main thing, is you keep it free and you keep it easy and you keep it accessible, keep it simple, stupid. That's what I always tell myself, you know.
Um, what is one of Diego's guilty pleasure bands?
Dwight Yoakam.
Okay, all right.
Not even hesitation. No hesitation. Yeah, Dwight Yoakam. Huge
Um,
fan.
And I used to be like, I don't have one. I listen to everything,
Same,
which is true. I do listen to everything, but like
same.
a lot of things people don't, like, uh, I've said it over and over again, but now it's just known. But I was a Panic at the Disco guilty pleasure. Like
Oh yeah.
the first album. That's it. Nothing else is great, but that first album, man, I wore that fucking album out every
Hell yeah,
day. I
dude.
would listen to it, man. It was
Hell
a
yeah.
good record. It's because it's catchy and it sucked me in. You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
is there any new music that is not metal or rock that you enjoy?
Yeah.
Like any of these new female artists?
Yes and no. Yes and no. Because some of it, like when it comes to hip hop, like I'm old school, and I'm having a hard time letting that go. I can't listen to the new. Not to sound like my dad, but I can't
No,
listen
but
to that shit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like because it is shit. Now let me back up the chain and say
that's your
I'm not out there
opinion,
doing
right?
it.
Yeah,
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 I'm not out there doing it. But to me, it's like it's the new generation of like, I guess it's rap, right? So
yeah.
that kind of puts me out of the of that genre. Some of these female like yes and no. Yes and no. I just listen to what's on to be honest. I'm not getting out of the
Yeah.
question. I just don't
No,
have
you're
the
good. You're
answer.
good.
Yeah, no, I just don't have the answer because like we just ingest so much music that it's like, okay, that's really good. Or you'll hear something, scrolling through TikTok or whatever and be like, who
Yeah.
the like it'll catch your ear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
you'll be in the car with somebody and be like, what is that? And you know, 95% of the time I don't ever retain the one and dones.
Yeah.
But if it's like a band that I want to put on the station, then I'm all over it. And that's kind of like my downfall in life. That's where everybody's like, I always say, everybody's like, man, you're just so fucking, and I'm like, I'm not. I promise you, I'm a nerd. I promise you, you get me in a room and I'm the
Mhm.
quietest person in the room and you won't even know I'm there. And I'm probably got my head down in my phone and I'm working or scrolling or something. And I'm looking for new music or I'm looking for the next whatever, you know? So yeah, as far as like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess
No,
that's
you're
sad
good.
to say. I don't really
Nah.
enjoy the new stuff. I don't take
Um.
the time to smell the roses.
Well, it's kind of like this, man. Growing up, it's like just say like growing up in the Bay Area. Okay, if you and all you know is the Bay Area hip hop. That's all you really know because
Yeah.
there's so much of it out there. And
Yeah.
one thing about the Bay, the music hasn't changed. That hip hop is
Dude, it still sounds the same.
it's yeah, exactly. And
Still
and
sounds the same.
but
I
so
tell you,
go
the
ahead.
one, so you say women fronted, and
Yeah,
it might be the cliche answer, but Spirit Box is come on, so strong,
yeah.
like
She can
so
sing her
strong,
ass off, dude. She can sing her ass
dude.
off.
She can sing, Courtney can sing, but
Yeah.
also there's I don't know if you want to call them up and coming. They've hit it big a few different times and they go away and then they come back and they got another album coming out. It's three sisters from Mexico. The Warning. Have you heard them,
No, I'll have to write that
bro?
down.
Bro, look up The Warning. Yeah, like look up The Warning. They're really good.
Okay.
And then they're friends of mine from Florida. They're called Modern Mimes. They've been around for a hot minute.
Yeah, I've
Um,
I've heard that name.
yeah, so that's a husband and wife duo, and they have a new drummer. Um, they're really good, uber talented, uber talented. They're one of those that like like I say the whole music slides across your desk, and you're like, what is this? And then you just kind of deep dive, and next thing you know, you're friends with the band type of situation.
um, I was gonna say this and then I forgot. Now I'm back again. First, I got one more. Do you play strictly rock music on Asylum?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
it is. And so, and I
And
get that.
what's
I
your
get that.
cutoff? What's your cutoff of rock?
Um, what I think is rock on the charts. So, and it goes back to, okay, so it's what I think, but also it's what are y'all listening to, right? So if you say, you as the unsilent majority say that top 25 downloads, which is what I follow, not necessarily charts or Billboard, but like downloads, because that's the game we play these days is that whole digital era. So if you say that Imagine Dragons is the number 5 rock song in all the land, I'm gonna not play that shit until the pressure is so much so that I say, all right, fuck, I got to put it in rotation. So there isn't really a cutoff, even with some of this crossover shit that's going on right now. Like I don't agree with, because it really, like, I really get heated with this but then you're like, whatever, everybody does it. But like, if you think about everything that crosses over, when they cross over, whether it be, we'll just use Beyonce. I don't know if she's ever crossed over into rock. She's trying with country now, but like, okay, Megan Thee Stallion, whatever the hell her name is, with Spirit Box. So all of a sudden, she put Spirit Box on the map. Okay. Jelly with Falling in Reverse. Okay. How about we just couple this in and call it new metal, and nobody be scared of it? And these are rock songs. These aren't hip hop songs. Right, like so that gets me heated.
I got.
It's like they constantly take, and they say, "Well, rock's dying." Well, then why are we sampling Ozzy, Post Malone? You know what I'm saying? Like, rock's dead. You know, so yeah, that's a sense.
I think I actually, and I don't like a lot. There's some of the stuff I don't like, but I think rock right now is in a great place. I think it's in a great place. And honestly, I don't think it's ever went anywhere, but I think it's in a better place now. I think honestly, after COVID, I say this often, after COVID, we got so much more music after COVID, man. Everybody wants to put out some music, and that's awesome. I love it. Now, would you play Rancid on the Asylum Radio Network?
I would. And matter of fact, I think we have some in there. We have certain segments of like, throwback, lunchtime throwbacks, whatever. And there's really there's kind of a cap on the year. I don't go too old. And if it is old, it's like they're, what I would think would be their best song per se. So it's like, got a couple Alice in Chains songs on there, some STP on there,
you're thinking, I'm thinking like 94 on, kind of that era, like 92 on. Like, I got you. Cool.
So let's just say 92 on, right? But we don't saturate with anything from like 90 to, let's just say 92 to 96, right? It's when it's when, so 96 on to today, all kind of sounds the same. Good. It's not a bad thing, my opinion. It's still good, but everything before that kind of sounded like, that era of music. So yeah, there's certain times and spots that we'll pick, because if not, then I feel like we're pigeonholing ourselves of like saying, it's classic rock, because that shit is classic rock now, which blows my mind.
It's so weird, man. I remember I was driving with my stepdad, and I think my mom probably, and I had one of my homies with me, and we're going to Salinas to go to the mall. And it was a classic rock station. And this is like 90, 92, maybe 90. Yeah, probably 92, 93. And they're like, up next, we got Metallica 1. And I'm like, Metallica 1 on a classic. But it was like 92, 93. I'm like, how is that already classic rock?
Dude, I was driving through Knoxville a couple years back, and their classic rock station was doing their lunchbox, whatever, lunchtime, all request lunch, and they played Korn, and I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. That's a wrap. I turned it off. I was like, no, I refuse.
That's great, man. It is crazy though what's considered classic rock now, though.
I know.
And at that time, when did the term classic rock pop up? Because in the 70s, that music wasn't. It wasn't just rock though. It was. Did it come out as classic rock? When did that genre pop up? Classic rock.
Yeah, like it's like, exactly what year do you get the 65-cent coffee at McDonald's, right? That's the music equivalent of, when do you go into the classic rock vaults? Is it when, because there's shit they play on these classic rock stations that I think is relatively new. So I was like, where is the logic behind that? I would like for somebody to tell me, because I don't know.
I always wondered those kind of things. Like, when did, it's like, okay, me and this guy at work were talking today, and the word pop punk, okay? Yeah. That word popped up in the 90s, because like the Ramones were a punk band, right? Okay. but the Ramones sound like what Blink-182 sounds like.
Yeah.
They're both kind of bubble. It's like, but you don't call the Ramones pop punk. You
Right.
call the Ramones punk. But then
Right.
you got Blink-182 who's pop punk. It's just like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
funny.
yeah.
It's like, it's about when things came out. I don't know. It's what it is. But
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, I'm not a fan of like yeah, it's okay. So is it rock? Yeah, it's rock.
Yeah.
Okay, well, is it progressive or is it new metal? No, it's fucking rock. Like, just
Yeah.
let it go. Like, can't we all just get in everybody get in the pile together with rock? It's rock music, man.
It's like back in the day when, unless you went to Tower Records, but if you went to like, say, Sam Goody's, or you went to like these other record stores, you had like 4 categories. You had rock,
Yep,
pop, country, and like jazz and R&B or something. But most of the time, everything was under pop or rock. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you couldn't, it's like if you were going to the rock section, you might find Janet Jackson and Michael Jackson in the rock section, but that's all we had. But then you go to like, say, Tower, which I love Tower, rest in peace, Tower Records. Jeez, man.
R.I.P. Tower Records.
You had the punk rock section, which was amazing. You had the thrash metal section, the metal section, like they had it broken black metal,
Yep.
But then you wanted to find a black metal at Sam Goody's, you're going to the rock section,
Yeah, you might as well just get into population. Yeah, get into population. Yeah. Yeah, and then Sam Goody's got a little progressive over the years, and they would put a hard rock section in, which was basically Metallica and Slayer. And it's like, okay, all right, cool. Saint Anger, I think not. Question for you, Metallica guy: Saint Anger, yay or nay?
I was just about to say, don't you talk bad about my Saint Anger.
I bought it.
Love it. I love it.
I'm
gonna tell you this. Okay, I'm gonna tell you this. First off, I like anything Metallica puts out. I am not a Metallica hater. Okay.
Same.
Now, will I tell you when I first heard the Load and Reloads, was I a fan? No. But as when I started becoming more of a musician, not even though I was a musician, but playing music, I respect more people now. I respect a lot more things. Now, are they both great records? No. It's like, is it Injustice is Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 great albums? No. But if you took the good songs off both of those records, you would have a phenomenal record.
Right.
But Saint Anger, I think that whole album's a banger. It's great. If you said you bought it,
I bought it. Yep.
Did yours come with the DVD?
It did.
The DVD, when you watch them play that in their practice studio, it makes you even appreciate the CD itself even more because it sounds the same.
It sounds the same. Sounds the same. Yeah, I wore that DVD out no, dude, it was. I bought it. I bought Saint Anger. Like I
bought it the day it came out at midnight.
Yeah. Yep.
It's funny. It's funny because right before you were about to ask me about Saint Anger, I was about to ask you about Saint Anger.
I think it is. I think it's a birthright. You like Metallica? I do. I love Metallica. You like Saint Anger? Yeah. Okay. Come on in. Yeah.
But no, what else? When I was mentioning, the GNR, Guns N' Roses, they have one phenomenal record, Appetite for Destruction. It still holds to this day. But if you took all the good songs off of Use Your Illusion 1, Use Your Illusion 2, put them together, you'd have a good record. Still not as good as Appetite for Destruction.
And dare I say, I'll go back a little further and go Use Your Illusion 1 and 2, and then throw everything from Lies, Lies, Lies in there, and you'd still only have one good record that was not as good as Appetite for Destruction.
No, you can even put the covers album in there. It's like
yeah.
Okay, now, Guns N' Roses, they released Chinese Democracy, the album that was the most anticipated rock album in like years. It took 10 years to make.
Yeah.
God.
Stop it.
It was I'm not going to say it was good.
It was not good.
No, because I don't even want to talk about it because it's that bad. But it was so bad. It was so bad that Best Buy, or I think it was Best Buy, bought every single copy from them. That was the only way that album was considered platinum or whatever, because those physical copies were actually purchased by a company. And I ended up getting the vinyl years later for $12.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be that guy that had to have the physical copy of every CD of a particular band. Yeah, like that's.
Yeah, I I have like I'm looking around my room right now. It's like I have like probably 1,000 cassettes. I got
Yeah.
like I got music that I don't know why I have all this. It's like, do I listen to it all? No, because I'm mostly at work all the time listening to my phone because I'm listening to my with my ear pods in. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna take this with me, right?
Right.
It's not gonna go in my
Right.
coffin with me, you know.
That's it. That's it.
Um well, yeah, Metallica. That's that yeah. Did you listen to Lulu?
No.
Don't waste your don't. I mean, okay.
No.
Who was it that they did that with? Lou Graham. Lou Graham. No, is it Lou Graham? Who's the guy from Velvet Underground? Lou Reed. Lou Reed. Lou Reed.
Lou Reed.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking. I was thinking Lou Graham, the guy from the Bay Area, the Booker.
Yeah.
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 Okay, Lou Reed. And apparently, like Lulu is like it's a story.
Mhm.
And he just basically wrote these lyrics about this story. He basically just talked it, and they played the music. Now, if you took the vocals off and sold that as an instrumental, it's phenomenal,
Mhm.
phenomenal. But
Mhm.
it was a one and done for me. I didn't never went back and listened to it
Never.
again. But no. What did you think of the 72 seasons?
Yeah, I it's Metallica.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's what you can say for it. I felt like it was rushed. I felt like it was rushed
for
still
Metallica.
for Metallica. Yeah.
Yeah.
Felt like it was rushed. I feel like they put so much into Death Magnetic and it was so anticipated and it lived up to it that it's never gonna be we're never gonna see anything as a consumer, right? Now as the band, they probably, you love everything you do
Huh?
as an artist, no matter what you do. But as a consumer, there's never going to be a Death Magnetic. And then to back it up, there's never going to be another Injustice for All, which was the match, my opinion, to Death Magnetic. Black Album goes without saying.
Wow, dude.
It goes without saying.
I never put those two and two together. I just wow. Death Magnetic and Justice for All.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's their cornerstones of their career.
Mhm.
The Black Album depends on what side of the Metallica tree you fall. Do you say that Metallica is the greatest of all time and that Black Album was the greatest thing they ever did? Or do you say that they were a better band before the Black Album hit because they sold out and it made them soft, and I'm not on that side. I think the Black Album is probably the best thing they've ever done.
Look what it did for rock music.
Look what it did for rock music. And that's how I look at it. That's exactly how I look at it. Is look what it did for the entire genre. Like,
okay.
It commercialized it, right? Which is what we wanted.
I think Fat Mike said it in an interview once. He's like, Green Day didn't sell out. Green Day's music and that style of music got popular.
Mm-hmm.
And people started liking it. And, Metallica, they went with Rick Bob Rock on that album, okay?
Yep.
And they wanted him. They wanted him for a reason. And look what he did for them with that album. Look what he did for them, Yeah, like you said, people said they sold out or whatever. Like I said before, I'm a Metallica fan through and through, no matter what. To me, besides Lulu, they put out nothing but solid music. Do I like some albums more than others? Yes. Do I have a order of what I like from start to finish into the last album? Sure. Does that mean that last album's garbage? No. It's just my top album for them is Master of Puppets. That's my album.
Yeah.
Even though Injustice for All is what introduced me to them.
Yep.
Master of Puppets is my favorite album, but Injustice for All holds a spot in my heart for turning me on to metal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
But
I think that goes for a lot of people, though. I think that goes for a lot of people, like to really break that down, especially with a band like Metallica, because there's so many choices there. But and it also depends on the era where you're from as well, So it'd be easy to say Black Album for my, age group, but really it's Master as well, So
it's cool though because that Black Album brought so many new people into Metallica as well. Of course, yes, they had their second ballad, what I'm saying? But honestly, you could kind of say Welcome Home Sanitarium's a ballad because it starts out kind of chill, then it gets kind of heavy. But anyway, but technically one was their first ballad, our first video. That was their first music video. You got, 4 albums into your career and you're finally, or maybe, you can, if you consider Garage Days, one of the albums, your fifth album, but
yeah,
your fourth record, you finally put out a video. It was a phenomenal record. I mean, phenomenal video, from the Annie Get Your Gun, or Annie Get Your Gun, or Johnny Get Your Gun.
Johnny
It was
Get
from
Your
that.
Gun.
Yeah. And then, but Metallica, Pantera, Black Crowes, AC/DC, 100 million, or not, 1.5 million people, something like that, in Russia in 92. They played,
Yes.
bro. I don't even know. It's like, it was 1 million plus people, but, and everyone's like, oh, Black Crowes was the odd man out on that bill. Black Crowes rocked back then, dude.
Yeah, bullshit. Yeah.
I mean, I still like the Black Crowes,
Their new shit I like a lot.
Oh yeah. But but you had Pantera, Metallica, AC/DC, 3 huge metal bands right there in Russia, in the middle of like whatever's going on over there. And and Metallica hits it. I mean, dude, I probably would have pissed myself when I hit that stage, because to see that many people and you just hear the
yeah, this the wall of people that, like, that's the famous shot of James standing on stage, just kind of looking lost, staring out, and they pan out to the crowd and it just fucking goes like,
It's kind of like what Korn said when they played Woodstock and they kicked in with what the fuck song was it? But they started jumping and the music started and you can see the crowd, because the music's it takes longer to get to the back.
Oh yeah, the reverse.
Dude, I'm like, and I'm like, that's what happened at that Metallica show. It's just like the fucking, oh man, makes me want. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm like, now I want to go. I can't wait to see Metallica now. What is your favorite Metallica song?
Gosh, man, that's tough. If I have to answer, man, it would probably be Master Puppets, probably.
Okay, all right, that's a good song.
Like it took me. I cycled through more than I remembered there for a second, but yeah, just as far, Master Puppets, close second to Enter Sandman. As much shit as people want to talk like that, and you know why Enter Sandman? It always goes back to sports for me, because that was what the Sharks would come out to.
Oh, really?
Back in the day, yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Cool. So I was like, all right, yeah. And now I think it's like Ride the Lightning. I think.
I mean, they got Metallica Night. The only people that doesn't have Metallica Night yet is the Niners. So what's up, Niners? Right. Let's go. Because like the Warriors have had it. The Giants have had it. The Sharks have had it. And
the A's even had it. Like the A's even had it. Like
those guys are not.
Get out of here.
My family's divided. I got my mom's side. We're all Giants fans. My dad's side, on my siblings on that side, are all A's fans.
Yep.
And then on my stepdad's side, all his family are Raiders fans. But my stepdad's a Niner fan. So, But guess what? Guess whose teams are loyal to the Bay?
Let's talk about it. That's the way my dad is Niners, Giants, Sharks, Warriors. My mom is A's, Raiders, Warriors, Sharks. And so it's like, I was like, no, I always hated the Oakland teams. I don't know why, but yeah, now I sit back. I always tell my mom now, I was like, hey, anytime you need me to snag you a Giants jersey or a Niners jersey, let me know, because both of those teams are gone now, right? Like Oakland's empty, by the way. So
it's crazy. Like, the Warriors, they came from Philly to San Fran, and then after, I said the word San Fran. No, you don't say that. They came to the city, and and then they moved to Oakland. But guess what? They knew where their real home was. They came back. It
was always back in the city.
The city is probably one of the dopest logos. The old school one.
I was gonna say, do we own, like, because there's other towns out there, like, but we own the city. Like,
I'm gonna say, man, like
we own the city.
The Niners have some cool logos. I mean, this logo's cool, but the Giants have always, the SF is probably one of the illest logos. Am I saying that because I'm from the Bay? Yeah, but am I right? Yeah, it's probably the dopest one.
They're one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite. It is one of my favorite. I don't know why. That's become the trademark, is rocking the Giants hats, right? Like, Like, I don't know. And now it's gotten a pop culture too. If you look around, there's more and more like just look around, more and more people are wearing what used to be LA.
Mm-hmm.
Get that shit out of here. Now it's like a lot of people are rocking Giants hats now. And I'm like, I know you don't mean it, but I appreciate your participation.
My one of my managers was wearing a Mets hat the other day, and I was like,
Yeah.
you know why that hat is blue and orange? Because he's a match. I match my stuff, so he does.
Yeah.
You know. I was like, you know why that hat's blue and orange? He's like, no, why? I was like, well, the blue represents the Dodgers, and the orange represents the Giants. He's like, what? I was like, yeah, they used to be the Brooklyn Dodgers and the New York Giants, and then they moved to the West Coast, and that's why they got that rivalry still, you know. And now like New York Metropolitans became a team, and they took the colors from those two teams. And he's like, "Oh, I never knew that." And I was like,
yeah,
"Yep,
you're welcome, New York."
Well, Diego, man, this has been fun, my friend.
Had a blast.
Anything you want to ask me?
No, bro.
Good.
Like this, like when we gonna do it again? Let's do it again. Now that we've got one under the belt. Let's go.
Oh, I meant to say this to you. So I remember the first time I met you.
Yeah,
he was at the warehouse, and the only reason I had come up to you, I was like, because I always got to check. You know, I got to check my peeps. Like if you're wearing a San Francisco hat, I gotta know if you really repping it, or you just wearing it because it matched your shoes. Because I remember. Yeah. I believe, and this is probably your go-to style anyway. You're probably wearing like the black SF with probably a black shirt with your brown Dickies and probably your Adidas shell toes. You know what I'm saying? It's probably what you're wearing, you know.
I call that Tuesday, yeah.
And you were like, and then we caught on, and then I probably got drunk and annoying, and then we never talked the rest of the evening. But I remember the next time I saw you, which was at the warehouse again, Novella came up to me and goes, "Do you remember me?" And I was like, I don't think I really did, but I remember her saying this. I was like, "Yeah, are you sure? Because you were pretty shit hammered." And I was like, "Yeah." And then I walked away. And then then I had seen you. You know, I see you all the time at the warehouse and stuff at the shows. And then the last time I actually saw you was at the quote unquote benefit show for the warehouse.
Yeah, up there in Clarksville. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And that was the last time I saw you, and I was doing pretty well that day, and I was cool. And then you weren't there for both days. You were there for just the second day, correct?
I think I just hosted the second day. Yeah. I don't think it was for both days. I'm pretty sure I was just there for one day.
Yeah. That was my night that I told myself that I should never, ever drink again. I had a very horrible set. I was really, really inebriated, and I don't remember anything until I watched the video. Apparently there was a band that played the night before that was giving everybody shit because they didn't have a table to set their merch up on.
I remember that.
I got on the mic. I was on the mic, and I was mumbling whatever. And
I remember that. Yep.
Yeah.
I do remember that because I got. We won't get into it, but I got drug into it.
Yeah.
Got drug into it.
But needless to say,
that now. Yeah.
Needless to say, I quit playing music after that show. I left my band Guerrilla Warfare that I was in, and took a hiatus from everybody. Got my mind cleared and decided to quit drinking alcohol, and was able to finally start this podcast because I've been trying to start this podcast since 2022.
Yeah.
And the inebriation, I couldn't do this drunk. I couldn't do that, you know, and I already sound silly on the talking already, let alone slurring, you know. So, but I did my first, I quit drinking Cinco de Mayo, actually, last year.
Yeah,
or actually not last year, 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
In 2023. So anyway, yeah, I feel great. I'm doing this fucking podcast.
I'm proud of you, bro.
Fun, man.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, man. Keep going.
And you know, and this is not like because I'm talking to you, but you know, also you being a non-drinker, actually someone that I look to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's cool to hear, like I had somebody that just told me this the other day, like, man, I actually stopped drinking because you of all people stopped drinking. And I was like, well, I'm happy for you, man. And if there's anything I can do, holler at me because it's a rough thing because but I don't need that crutch, so.
That's good. That's good. Now I do still drink from time to time. I don't drink
Okay.
like I used to. I don't drink
Yeah.
like I used to. Like we had to slow down, and that's
Yeah.
a good thing. Like I'm like I said though, I'm hella proud of you, bro. Like keep it up. Fucking keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah,
Like
man, for sure.
I've watched and waited patiently, and now here we are, and now let's do it again.
I had to knock the rust off, you know what I'm saying? So I
feel that.
had to knock the rust off. Let me get like, I think this episode here will be probably 2 weeks, a week and a half, maybe it'll come out. But I think you're gonna be like 35 or 36.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If it's 35, then that's your then you're gonna be that's the Kevin Durant episode.
There you go. I like it. I like it. I like it. Yeah. This is the first one of these I've done in a long time. Like this is the first time I've been on this side of the mic in a hot minute. So yeah, it's fun though. I enjoy it. I enjoy it.
Oh,
I enjoy doing this shit.
I just love talking to people, man. I wish I kind of wish I would have started this. We always say, "Oh, what if I would have did this many years ago?" But
Yeah.
everything's happens when it happens.
It all flows for a reason, brother.
Well, Mr. New Metal Messiah. Wait. How did that name come about?
I was in I think I was in Virginia hosting a show. I don't remember where and I don't remember who, but the band was on stage and like they were just thanking everybody and like had come out, and then they said and a special thank you to our new metal messiah Diego. And I was like, okay, all right. And I think it goes deeper. There's an underlying joke there because like I may or may not resemble somebody with a red hat, every once in a while. Like
yeah, I mean, I can see that.
Yeah. So I forever have got the Fred Durst thing. So then when I reemerged out of my slumber of no radio and come back out, of course I've always I wore a red hat. I wore a red Giants hat before he put on that fucking red Yankees hat, and so it just so happens we look a little bit alike,
and you both are covered in tattoos,
both are covered in tattoos, so I think that also has something to do with it. But yeah, like that's that nickname kind of, and at first I was like New Metal Messiah, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess it makes sense. So it just stuck, and now it's like that's people call me that, and I'm like,
now was it like as a new metal, like the new metal music, or was it like as in and like you are the like NEW, like you're the New Metal Messiah?
No, I think it was like new metal because I do think it had like a play on the
I got you.
Yeah, like I'm stuck in that era, and I look like fucking Fred Durst, and whatever, like, and we all dress like this, so yeah, it's the new metal in you metal messiah. Yeah. So
well,
yeah,
since I have you on the mic, I've not done this before, but I'm gonna do it because I have you. I want you to go ahead and sign us off, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, I don't even know what I should say. I guess I could say it's been a blast. For my guy over here, thank you very much. It's been a first time, long time coming. It's Diego with the Asylum Radio Network, and you've tuned in to You Want It, You Got It. Wait, is that right?
Yeah.
You want it?
Yeah.
You got it. That's it. Till next time. See you guys.